Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to my channel, The Smoking Beard. Today, we're going to be doing an unboxing of this Masterbuilt Gravity Series 560. This is a pellet style gravity feeding system, but it's not pellets. You guys, on this one, you can use charcoal. You can use lump charcoal. You can even use firewood. So just on that alone, it's still electric, but just on that alone, I had to have this because this is what I've been looking for. Something that's gravity fed, but not a pellet smoker. Okay, so step one of the process here is remove this tray right here. Alright, that's removed. Alright, so the next step here would be to find this little contraption in your parts box with these screws, which are the B screws. You're just going to fasten it to this right here with the levers going down. Always recommended to try to get magnetic magnetic screwdrivers to make your assembly that much easier. Inside here there was more stuff. Alright, so the next step here is, this is a hopper that was inside the barbecue pit. It should have a fan here somewhere. Here it is. Now, what they're asking you to do here, there's this piece of metal right here. They want you to bend it up. Probably just, it's only going to be perpendicular to this. So bend it up, but not too much, because then you're going to cause damage. See how that worked? It was down here. There's a smoker right there. I bent it up. What we're looking at right here is this bottom part. This is the next step here. You're gonna have to locate. Let me zoom this in. You're gonna have to locate something that looks like this. So don't throw it when you see it. And they want you to, I don't know, Masterbuilt. I like your product, but sometimes you're a little kooky. They want you to put it here, but don't drill it in. So what they recommend you do is get some tape and just kind of hold it there just meanwhile. Alright, so for this next step you're going to need 2 of the A screws, letter A. On this one you're going to partially screw these in. Not all the way. There's a reason for that one. It's going to be used as an anchor, right? Once you this is going to be next closest to your to your grill here. The next step here is to get your hopper, and on this one you're going to notice that it has a fan right here. This fan is going to go in this little indentation, and the reason you left these not all the way through is because you're going to insert these and then secure them. So for this step, you're just essentially what you're doing is you're just sliding it in. So right here, you won't be able to see them, but these are the screws that you put in slightly. The next step here is to go ahead and you're going to, there's going to be a hole here. There's going to be the other 2 that are here. You're just going to go ahead and use 3 more of those A screws and secure this to the hopper. Alright, so now we're ready for the legs. The very first one that needs to go on is the one underneath the fan. It's going to be this leg piece right here. You're going to know it's this one because when you lay it flat like this, you're going to have these funky looking pilot holes here. It's going to align over there, and then on the bottom it has these two on the bottom, and then this one right here. It looks like all three legs are all four legs are kind of different, so I think it really matters how you put this. So the very first one, make sure that it's your smoker is facing up the way you see it right here, and you install this one first with 3 of the A's, 3 of these little A ones. Alright, so the next step is to do the other side for the legs, and after looking at it a little bit, it's kind of foolproof only because this is not the same as this down here. So these holes will not fit here, vice versa, these holes will not fit here. This one only fits here and this one only fits here. So you get 3 more for each of the sides, top and bottom, and just screw them in using your screwdriver. Alright, so the last thing here, not the last thing, but the next thing here would be to secure the base here. What you're going to do is you're going to insert it here. You're not going to do the fourth leg just yet. That's afterwards. That's another step. Right now all we're doing is we're aligning this. We're going to secure these with A's. We got these as A's, the screws, and then these little nuts for B's, okay? So we're just going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And fasten it. Now you do want to tighten them, but do not fully tighten them. This will be at the very end. Your next step here is to put the last leg. For this one, you're going to need three A's on top. You're looking at probably 2 A's on the bottom, and 2 of your D's, which are the little nuts. So for this one you need a total of 5 screws and 2 nuts. Alright, so now that you have everything already semi-assembled, now you can go ahead and go around and tighten all the screws from the base. Okay, so for the next part, you're going to be installing your casters. There's 2 that go on one side. They kind of go just kind of in this way. And you'll know because on the bottom, they have a hole for it. On this side it doesn't. So these you just kind of push in. These are the easy ones. Or you don't push them in, you screw them in. For the next part, you're going to need a couple of different tools. For this next part, you're going to have these 2 wheels that you're going to be able to use along with this rod that comes with it. So I'm going to go ahead and do this. Insert one of the wheels because I'm going to lift this, insert it, and then I can bring it back down. Okay, so the next step, you put this one down here. You put the little spacer in between, and you hand tighten it as much as you can. You also would recommend you get something like this so that you can grab a hold of this I guess you would call this the axle. It has a little indentation right here where you can grab onto it. That's what it's made for. So I'm just going to grab onto it right there, and I'm going to make sure that it's tightening. So we're just going to tighten it. So now we get to stand this puppy up. And we are mobile. Let me bring it around town. Yeah, I have kids. Swing ball. Alright, so now we're at the bottom. We're at the bottom of the smoker. This is where your fan is. It's blowing out. The bigger wheels are this way. you're gonna need to find this little piece here. It has some holes in it, and it has some bends here on the metal itself. These bends go towards that way, and the big hole goes away from the fan. So you're gonna find the pre-drilled holes that go there, and you're just gonna go ahead and install these with the A's again, and the D nuts. A screws and D nuts. Okay, I thought it was funny. So the screws go in through the front and the nuts go in through the back. Okay. Enough of the joking. Kind of like that. So those are the easy ones here. There's going to be two that are inside the hopper itself. Now this thing has to kind of be aligned a little bit for the holes to kind of line up. But there's two of them that go in here. All right, so the next step is to do the wiring. There's two wires that need to go in. Right now you're going to notice that this here is already wired this way. You have to have a little tie here. You have to loosen this, and then on your hopper up here there's another set of wires that need to go into the fan, and then you're gonna have this little opening here that we left. That's where the wiring goes first, and then underneath here you have some more cables, some more wiring that's coming out. That's where you're gonna be wiring everything together. So you're gonna have your fan here, this cable, the one that goes here, coming into the base. It has a red and black cable here. You just connect it to the red and black cable right here. And then you have two more coming in. These go connected. It has its side, so make sure you stick it in the right way, because if not you're gonna damage the little prongs or the little things. And then here they provided us with a little tie so that we could run the cable so it's not hanging. You can just kind of bring it up and then tie it in to the housing itself. And there you go, that's how you wire that part. Okay, the next step is to install this heat shield. This is where the cabling that we just wired went. So we're gonna need to install this. The only thing is that we need to unscrew these so we can slide this in and then secure the rest of it. So we're gonna have to remove these to put them back, if that makes any sense. Alright, so you also, I don't know if you remember when we bent this at the very beginning. This has to feed through here, so make sure that this hole aligns here, this other hole is going to align here, and also that this feed is feeding through the thing, through itself. Let me anchor these first. So yeah, this little thing has to, you should be able to feed that through there. Alright, so now we're on the other side. This is where I put my heat shield, on the other side right now. The next one is to put the heat shield on this one. This one is a little different. Same thing. You're gonna slide it in, but you have to remove these first. You're gonna need two of the B's, which are the smaller screws. So let's go ahead and remove these first. I'm gonna slide this in. These two screws that are here, one's gonna go here and one's gonna go in here. So just make sure you try to align it as close as possible. This one's a real good indicator right here that you're doing it correctly right here. So just kind of anchor it for now. And then the two screws that you loosened on the top. Only time will tell. There it is. You got your heat shield done on this side. Alright, so the next step in the process is to install your, I guess your charcoal separator and your little bucket. This is a charcoal separator. There's two little, I guess little anchors here where this slides through. Of course, you know I'm going to be modifying this because I can already see that there's a lot of charcoal that's going to be going in through there. So, but that's for another video. You just want to slide this in right here. Simple, pretty easy, right? And then you have your bucket where you're going to be catching all your charcoal. You're going to want to put this one with the slant. It has a slant to it. Right here, this little angle. You want to put it in towards the back. Sits pretty cool right there. All right, that was about the easiest part. Now let's get the door. Look at that, Masterbuilt threw us a bone. The door already has the handle assembled to it, or on it. And all we have to do now is just insert this. I don't even have to screw anything on. There's two little lips right here, or these two little anchors right here. These anchors are gonna go in those holes. So let's see how easy this is to install. There's one. Can already feel it as a tight fit, which is good. Oh, look at that. All right. I guess we can close this here. It's a pretty tight close. You can always adjust it. I'm assuming you can adjust here. But that's how that goes. That was pretty easy. A little too easy. I'm confused, Masterbuilt. You make us masters of builders because you make us build all your stuff. But that was like the simplest to install. Alright. More like that, Masterbuilt. The next step to install are these dampers. I know they look kind of funky. And yes, there is a small and a big size to them. So just make sure you're doing it correctly. The large one is going to go on top. And it's going to go in those little slots right here. You're just going to go ahead and insert that right there. Well, if I get it in the right way. It's all about the angles. And then the smaller one right here. Alright, so what's the purpose of that? That is for whenever you're done smoking or grilling or whatever you're going to do and you want to kill the fire, you throw these in there and it'll suffocate the fire. Boom, boom, wham, bam, thank you, ma'am. Okay, so the next step here is to install the knob that goes here. Oops, don't lose that. This knob looks like this. Put the orange, then the knob, and you just turn. There you go. Alright, the next step here is to install the handle that goes right here. So they want you to pick this up, and the first handle, when you put it, if you're facing it on your left side, has to be kind of slanting away from you. Alright, if you look at it like this, you want it to be slanting away from you, because if you put the other one right here, it's going to be slanting towards you. This way, no, you don't want that. You want it to go away from you. So, go ahead and do that. Alright, so you got the first one in. Okay, next one goes in here. This one goes in here. And we do the same thing. Alright, so you got your handle. Next step is to install your, I guess you call it your smoke gauge, but I mean, come on, Masterbuilt. Smoke, barbecue, grill, sear. Come on. Could have given us like some type of degrees or something, you know. There's a little indentation right here, or that goes right here as well. Just kind of sits there. Tighten this next step. So this next step is going to be a little bit harder to show you because, well, my camera angles are not really giving me the right angle here. But so what I'm going to do here first is I'm going to screw in halfways these screws. They're C screws, letter C. I'm going to screw them into these little pilot holes first. And this is why I'm telling you it's a little tough, because these holes over here, I don't know if you can see them. Let's see. This hole right here, and there's another one right there. I'm going to insert this through there, and then I'm going to tighten it from the outside. So again, due to poor camera angle, I won't be able to show you this exactly, but the next step is to get this, I guess you would call this like a little manifold, and that's going to go in. You see those pilot holes that are there? That is where those bottom screws are going to land, and I'm going to fasten it that way. So you're just going to insert and then move towards your right. Like I said, it was hard for me to explain it, but those little two screws landed on those holes, and then when you push it this way, there's another section over there it's supposed to rest on. So there you go on that part. So the next step here is to install this Bluetooth antenna. You want to get this piece that is still loose, and then in the back you just screw it on here. Alright, so now that you've screwed on the antenna, the next step here would be to I guess you would attach this to your Masterbuilt here. Now it does have a simple way of doing this. I don't know if you can see this here. It has this type of ways to install it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to screw in the first two in here almost all the way through. Just makes it a lot easier. I mean, it's easier if you have two people, but as you can see, I've been doing this all on my own, so any little bit helps. So now that I have those two not all the way in, now I can go ahead and sit this one. Careful not to pinch any of the wires that are there. I can sit it. Now it's sitting. Now I can just go down there and finish the job. So this is where I went ahead and I started the process. This bottom part is where the other one is going to land, so make sure that one you can align it. So before you start tightening anything, I would suggest you start with there so that it's kind of aligned already. Again, a magnetic screwdriver is going to be your best friend on this type of assembly. Maybe I should. So let's get the bottom ones first. Alright, so remember that tray that we pulled out at the very beginning? That one needs to go back in its home, so it's kind of sliding in here. Alright, so the next step here is to go ahead and install the grates that come with it. So the next thing to install would be your grease trap here. So in the front there should be some, yeah, there they are. You just kind of slide it in through there. Alright, so after looking through all the stuff that was still left over, I noticed something. Looks like they made a modification to this. So I'd rather do it now than later. These are little mods that were given to us aside after the assembly. And I'm assuming so that the smoke and the grease do not go in there, they provided these to kind of stop it. So now I'm going to have to unscrew this, get the screw out, and then screw it back in. So there's one. There. I know it was a pain in the butt, it kind of feels that way, but hey, 2 minutes into it, and look, now we got it exactly how it's supposed to be. Perfect. This one feels a little loose. Alright, we're good. Alright, so that's that adjustment. Alright, so the next thing that needs to go, we're almost done. I can see the finish line. The next thing that needs to go on is the meat temperature probe. It has up to 4. I guess Masterbuilt said, we'll give you the first one. You're on your own for the rest. So here's where you put them, 1, 2, 3, 4. And you're able to feed them through here. Alright. So I'll just go ahead and put it on the first one. Alright, so for what it seems is the final step of the process, which would be to connect all of your electrical over here. So you got some cables coming out of here. You got some cables coming out of here. And you have this one, okay? So first things first, this yellow one goes attached to the, I guess you would call this a motherboard or the main. Just be careful to not get too fancy with it. Alright, that's one. And then we have, pretty self-explanatory, you got a male and a female on each end, so there's really no way of screwing this up. So just connect them male to female. One. Male to female. It does have its side, so make sure you're doing it the right way. 2. And the final step is your power. Because yes, believe it or not, even though this is a charcoal gravity fed smoker, it's still going to use power to control the temperature, which is the coolest part, I think. So I'm going to unloosen this. There's only one other one that's left here, which is that one right there. And we are, how they say, done. Alright, well there you have it. A 360 of the completed project of this digital charcoal grill and smoker from Masterbuilt. I gotta say, this was a very fun project to put together. There was a lot of pieces. Supposedly 37 sausages, 21 hamburgers, 4, I'm assuming those are ribs, and 8 chickens. And by the looks of it, if I'm eyeballing it with the stuff that they have, a minimum of 2 briskets, with a third one possibly on the top. Okay, I'm just gonna give you a quick 360 of what it looks like. It is a very sturdy build, although it feels a little light. The lid doesn't feel as heavy. I mean, look at how I'm moving it up and down like nothing, right? But it does come with your grates, your searing and your smoking grates. It does come with extra grates on the top, cooling grates, I guess you would call them. You got your hopper feeder here for your charcoal briquettes. You got your, where you're gonna be putting in your, you're gonna be bringing out your leftover charcoal through there. You got this little pan that comes out, has a little vent over here. I am gonna be smoking this. I am gonna be pre-seasoning this, of course, in another video. You got your digital compartment here. You have all those controls. Again, that's more technical stuff. But as of right now, especially for those of you who might have bought this or purchased this without instructions, I hope I was able to help you guys out. Please check out my other videos out. I do have other videos dealing with smoking, dealing with a whole bunch of other things. So please, if you did like this video, please like and subscribe, and please leave a comment down below. Once again, this has been the Smoking Beard. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you guys on the flip side.